Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, I'm just going to start out by showing you what I'm cooking for dinner, kind of explain how I cook it. Usually when I do pork, it's kind of the same way, unless I'm cutting it up and throwing it into something different. But when it's whole, I kind of cook it the same way, just season it with whatever I feel like in the moment. And then, so that's what we're doing right now. Tomorrow, unless I'm feeling like it tonight, I'll pick this back up, and then we're gonna go through all the meats that I have that are in the freezer. And I thought my husband wanted the meats in the main freezer, or in the garage, because we have a stand-up freezer, like an extra freezer. But I'm gonna put stuff like chicken nuggets and extra things like that in there, and then keep our meats in the kitchen freezer. So, but I'm gonna figure out how much all of what we have, for one, to see how many dinners we can get, based off of like what we have, with sides not included, but we have sides, assuming we have all the sides. I just want to see how many meals, how many dinners that will get us through, because meat is the main course of a meal for dinner. And then also, what was I going to say? I'm going to add that all up and just kind of see like how many dinners for how much money we have. There are some extra things like hamburger meat I did not show in my haul in my last video. If you missed my last video, I shared a grocery haul, so you'll see everything we got. But we also have stuff at home still, so it's not going to include everything else. I'm just going to do the meats and figure out dinners with that. So for tonight's dinner, this all came in a pack, one pack. I'm going to actually turn it down a little bit. It is pork sirloin chops. So what I do normally, we're a family of 5. There's actually 3 adults, because my oldest son is an adult. And then we have a teenage son who's 15. My oldest son is 20. And then I have a baby girl. So my baby girl does not eat that much, and I don't eat as much as the 3 guys. So, so that being said, those 4 is one dinner. And she only eats, like I said, a little bit, and same here. So I usually end up sharing mine with her, and then the guys get each their own. So what I do normally is I open the package, I put salt, then pepper, and then I go in and sprinkle all of them on one side first. I do everything on one side first, then I flip it and do the same thing with all the seasonings. So salt, pepper, then garlic salt, and then onion powder, and then once in a while, I always do all those 4 first, salt and pepper plus those. I always do that, no matter what. I just always, especially garlic. And then sometimes I go in with this carne asada. Generally I don't, but tonight I did, and then I have before, and it tasted fine. But it isn't something you would normally think like, oh yeah, this would be for, let's see, like if we smoked something out on our smoker in the barbecue station, we would definitely use that, or just regular carne asada that we get that's thin slices and stuff like that, but it tastes good. I've done it before, so don't knock it till you try it. But that's what I do on both sides of the meat. I put a ton of butter. I probably put almost a whole stick of butter. So I put, almost all of that, minus like a 1/4 inch, however much that is. I'm not going to say exactly the size, but like usually that's what I like, a lot of butter. But and then I heat up the butter, heat up the pan, throw them in there, sear them. If you can see, it's kind of seared a little bit. And then I lower the heat to usually like 3 or 4. But I sear it on 5.5 or 6, and then I flip it, and then usually I do the same thing for the other side, and then I turn it down, and I cover it, and I just kind of wait, and then I will eventually just set that to low. Now on the sides, we're going to have broccoli. When this is a little bit more cooked, I'm going to drain the water. I'm going to add salt and pepper. And then I'm actually going to add a little bit of milk and some shredded cheese. And then I'm going to stir it up to melt the cheese. It just makes it creamier with the milk. And then we're also going to have baked potatoes. And we have butter, salt and pepper for that. And then we also have some bacon bits and sour cream and cheese as well. So I figured, hey, might as well do that. Potatoes were not in our grocery haul, but my husband got them last night. So But anyways, that is what we're having for dinner. And I forgot to mention as well. So usually when I do any of my meat, especially ones that I'm flipping around, like my husband does all the stuff outside, like all the barbecue stuff. He does it differently than how I would do it. For the most part, it's all getting smoked, right? But he prepares things differently than I do. But when I do like the pork steaks or regular steaks, or I don't do it to chicken, but like I stab it with a fork. I pretend it's a potato and I stab both sides because in my opinion, it soaks up the butter, it flavors it more, and it actually makes it more tender without smashing it with a tenderizer. But that's a little tip, and I think it does make a big difference because well over a year ago when I started getting really good at cooking pork, my husband's like, damn, babe, this is good. And I'm like, thank you. He's like, no, really, like, it's tender. It's really good. And I'm like, are you really that surprised? But thank you. But anyways, I'm going to finish cooking dinner. I'll show you guys it all plated up, and then I'll see you in the morning. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to plate it up and show you. I was so hungry. I just ate it. And I was like, as I was finishing it, I'm like, oh no. But you get it. It was meat. You've seen it before it was cut up. And I'm sure you all know what a big potato looks like. But anyways, yeah. I like doing that cheesy broccoli with the milk and stuff. I got her in the bath right now. My daughter, she is so tired today because she did not take a nap. Don't drink that, okay? Remember. Anyways, I have been feeling so good. So I think the day after, either that or the day that I did the fridge, I cleaned the fridge. I don't know. One of these days, I felt like I didn't do anything. And then, or no, there was a day where I was like, okay, today's my rest day. Today's my rest day. It was actually Sunday. And it was about the time I rested all day. Like I just hung out because I cleaned the night before and I mopped again in the morning. Like everything was picked up. The kitchen was clean. You know what I mean? Like surfaces wiped off. Like I did a good job. So the next morning I could relax, and I kind of had it planned out like that, you know, knowing I would take a break day. And Julian and I watched SpongeBob and it was just like, it was kind of nice. And then Jace was at his dad's, and right before actually that Jace got dropped off from his dad's, I went into his room and I'm like, oh shoot, I've got to vacuum his room because I have not gotten a chance to do that since I picked up my vacuum. Well, I'm in there. One thing leads to another, and I emptied his trash. I don't know what else I did in there. I was like not in the mood to like really clean, but that's what I ended up doing. And he came home as I was finishing vacuuming. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go through your closet real quick. I was like, where's that pile of shirts? Because there's a pile of shirts that he had in there that he knew he didn't want to wear. And I don't remember why it was still left in there. So I was like, I'm just going to grab that pile, put it in a garbage bag to donate it. And then and what? Oh, it's such a cool trick. Yeah. So she has this little tiny pitcher. She fills it full of water. Are you okay? Okay. Anyways, and she's pouring it into another cup, and on the bottom of that cup there's holes. And she just likes the way it feels. If you put your hand like way below the cup and just feel how the water falls or feels falling into your hand, it feels really cool. But I showed her that a long time ago. But anyways, one thing led to another. Jace was eventually home. He was sitting on his bed hanging out. And I would just like show him things and he would be like, keep, no, get rid of, keep, get rid of. I filled a whole garbage bag. And then all that started from vacuuming my son's room, mind you. And then eventually I was going to call it a night because I was tired. But I was like, you know what? If I keep putting this off, because I wanted to do it for Julian's room too. I was like, it's going to be days probably. So I just went into Julian's room. I'm like, this is going to be quick. We're just going to do this. Okay. Help me, you know, because they're your clothes. Tell me what you want to wear, even if you like it. But if you don't wear it, you know, what's the point of keeping it if you, why? Like, why keep clothes that you don't wear? It doesn't matter if they fit or not at that point if you're not going to wear it, right? And I tell you what, we got rid of Same thing, big old bag. And he has a ton of socks. We matched up all his socks, most of his socks. He had so many. And then there was all these mismatched socks or whatever, like loaner socks, right? They didn't have a match. And I almost threw them back in his drawer, and I was like, no, let's just throw them out. There's no way that they would be anywhere else in our house, because what we do for laundry is we each have our own basket. Jalen's clothes go into my husband and I, so we all three share, like, each bedroom. So my husband and I's bedroom and Jalen, our daughter, have a shared basket. So there's 3 baskets total. So there's no way to, like, mix them up, because all the laundry's, like, done together, as, like, all Julian's laundry is all together all the time. Because I got to a point a long time ago, I'm like, I can't mix our clothes anymore. It's already a pain to try to find matches of socks, but if you're trying to find matches and, like, figure out whose socks are whose when they're all mixed up, no fun. But anyways, it just felt so amazing, and it just kind of got me to the point. Also yesterday, or was it yesterday? Whatever day I did that, I also put on the rest of the doorknobs, the new black handles. I put them on all of our doors now, and well, in the hall. They're all taken care of. And then there was something else I did. Oh, there's this little rainbow toy to where I turned it on, didn't work. And I'm like, well, it's got to be something with the wiring. So I popped off the whole back, and it was hanging on by one wire, but it still wasn't working. So I just pulled it off, and then I stripped the wire so I could see the little actual, like, phrase. I twisted them, and I wrapped it around the little clamp thing, stuck the clamp down more because it was, like, kind of bent up. And then I fixed that. I was just like, I felt so good. I was on a roll. And then today, my curtains out by my island, there's, like, little tie backs, or it's like a metal tie back thing that's in the wall already. And it was kind of always falling out because I don't have those, like, little stud things that you stick in the wall and then you put the screw into it. Can't think of what they're called right now. But I fixed that, put them in both the tie down things. Like, I have just been going throughout my house, like, going throughout my day like normal. But as soon as I find something that is irritating to me, I'm trying to take care of that. So that's kind of, like, how my mindset's going. It's not just about decluttering. It's about, like, why dig through clothes? You know, that if you don't wear them and it takes you that long to get dressed, clearly we have a problem. So in a way, it's decluttering, but it's also fixing things that bug you, taking care of things that, you know, are just, like, easy fixes, but we just say, another day. But anyways, I'm feeling great. Okay, so this is the next morning. I decided, you know what, there's no time better than right now. So I'm taking everything out of the freezer and I'm going to take inventory of what we have. Okay, so this is all the food, it's all the meats, plus, like, some random chicken nuggets and pizza. I'm going to see all this added up of what I can actually add up, that from what was, like, actually in the grocery haul. And then I have, like, a lot of other stuff that we split up a long time ago. I'm just going to kind of count and get the price of what I can. And then I'm going to count how many dinners this could make. But we also have a giant pack of bacon, which I did not split up. I totally forgot about it. But that's fine. That's usually, like, a breakfast thing. We'll put it in the fridge Friday or so, let it thaw, and then we will split it and just eat most of it through the weekend, or we'll cook it and save it for other stuff. That way it's not going to go bad, but that's what we do, so I'm going to get into it. Okay, there's my fridge. I just had wiped everything down. I'm actually going to leave the hot dog buns up in there, but everything else, like ice cream, chicken nuggets, the pizza, and all that can go in the freezer in the garage. And I'm going to put the juices probably in that bottom drawer, but I cleaned it out. It's always going to be wet anyways. I just got a warm rag, wiped it, and I did dry it, even though it's not going to make much of a difference, but just to get that extra moisture out of there, even though it'll just freeze anyways. But I don't want any chunky ice stuff in there. But watch out, Kiki. Move your butt, girl. Move your butt. I'm going to put all of this away. I did kind of write everything down, so I'm going to put everything away and then figure it all out. Okay, so looking at this real quick, it's a jumbled mess, but let me explain. So I wrote down all the prices of the stuff that I could see, wrote down all the prices, wrote down what it was. And I'm figuring for a whole young chicken, and this might actually equal out to more dinners, I wrote down per each person. So a dinner for all of us, and that's 5 dinners. But knowing that I will have leftovers from that chicken, even though it's small. So this is kind of a variation, like it could vary. And then I didn't even realize, I remembered that Earl splurged and got these like super expensive steaks. So I wrote down 2 because that's one for each of us. If we're having like, I don't know, sometimes Jace isn't here. He'll go to his dad's on the weekend, and sometimes Julian stays the night as his girlfriend's, you know what I mean? Or we can do all that together and give Jalen some of mine, which we usually do, and eat that as a family. So I wrote down 2 and 2 because there's 4 steaks total. And then 4 pounds of ground beef. I had to search up what kind they were because those were not, this is stuff up here. There's a divided line dividing it. The stuff on top was not in the grocery haul. This is the meat that was in the grocery haul. But anyways, back to the ground beef. I just found out the price for one of them and just multiplied it times 4. So it's not perfect. And I figured that would equal out to 10 dinners, like 10 people eating dinner. And then hot dogs, I just wrote down 5 because usually we do stuff on the side for hot dogs. Granted, the guys can probably eat way more hot dogs, but if we did have enough sides, it could go to 1 hot dog. So that, again, varies. 3 steak dinners. So the problem with this number is there's a big roast in there. I don't know how much dinners we could actually get from that because it's not actually split up. Usually Earl will make a roast. He'll go cook it all together, not split it up. So that one, it was 6 pounds, and I just figured a pound for all of us for a dinner. So I multiplied 5 times 6 and I got 30 for that. So that could also vary depending on what we eat it with. Like if you eat it on a sandwich, the bread's also going to fill you up, and you have sides as well. But anyways, this right here, it says 3 steak dinners cut up and split in bags. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So there's the freezer, just hot dog buns, random broccoli. This is what I'm talking about right now. He split this up a long time ago from this giant roast. I think it was super expensive in one of my grocery hauls. We still have some of that. So I just pretend that this whole bag is 1 dinner. I'm assuming that's how he did it. I mean, I know that's how he did it, but that seems like a lot of meat actually. And then, yeah, so stuff like that. And then there's a big roast back there that he will smoke. So those, I don't remember how much they cost. And I split up could be completely different than as a whole, obviously. So I just figured that could be 3 meals. I'm just trying to figure it out. Well, 3 meals for all of us as a family. So I put 15 meals. And then that total came out to $109.34 minus whatever price the steak dinners that I just showed you would be. So it's $109.34 and then some. And then in the grocery haul, I wrote down the prices and what it was, and then, how many dinners it would be. And this is like for each person, not as a family. So got the total for that, $37.82. Then I combined those two. It's $147.16 for 104 separate dinners total per person, or 22 dinners as a family. So, and then that doesn't include stuff like pizza and chicken nuggets, but she also will snack. My daughter will have the chicken nuggets for, lunches or whatever. And that pizza is not going to fill everyone up. That now should be a lunch, or if we have something on the side for dinner, like salad or whatever we want to do. Sometimes we do salad, but if we have plenty of pizza, we'll just go simple and keep it to the pizza, or stick to just pizza. But anyways, that's a lot. My mind's kind of jumbled right now, just like this paper. But $147 for 104 dinners, that doesn't seem that bad. Or even 22 dinners as a family, and that varies too. It seems like a lot, but that's just meat, and there's plenty of other stuff for sides. Okay, I just wanted to go back in here. I do believe these were from WinCo, but I'm not sure. Actually, I think they were. So Earl splurged on these. Like I said, $31.30 is super expensive. Normally we don't buy meat like that, and 25, I mean, that's 50 bucks right there. More than 50 bucks. But what we usually do is we always go to WinCo. WinCo is our go-to because that's a pretty good deal. $2 over $5, $7. You know what I mean? $2 over $5. What am I saying? But, and this is thick meat. It's not super thin, and you get plenty. So most of the prices all the time for WinCo meats are super good. And chicken is pretty good too. $7.27. And then for the chicken, the whole young chicken was $15.40, but there was 2 in this bag. So that's not bad at all. You know, and I split that in half, by the way. My daughter's watching Curious George in the background. But anyways, so WinCo is our grocery store. That is where we go grocery shopping. Now, if we're missing something or forget something, Walmart is our fill-in store, and not for fill-in items as in like sides and stuff for your meals, but as in like at Walmart we get diapers, wipes, and stuff like that, like things that we use, toilet paper, all that kind of stuff. We get that from Walmart. But our groceries, the bulk of our groceries come from WinCo. We have been shopping at WinCo forever, and I'm telling you, WinCo has the best prices. We have done this for a long time. Walmart has good deals, but full-on grocery shopping at Walmart, you're not going to find the deals that you do at Walmart, whereas WinCo, that we find at WinCo, it's really good. So if you have one of those around you, I highly suggest going to it, even if it's a little out of your way. It is well worth the money, and the money you save can go to gas to get there. So, I mean, it's worth it, and then you'll still have money saved. I started shopping there probably when my youngest son, Jace, was a baby. I believe that's when I started shopping there. So I've been going there for years. It's the best. Okay, so I'm going to share some meal ideas with you. This is by no means a meal plan because we don't actually meal plan. We kind of, every day, we're like, what do we feel like eating? We defrost that meat and then, you know, do the rest of the meal based off of what the meat is. So, but I did write down some ideas, like for the whole chicken, Earl usually cooks that outside, so it's like a roasted chicken or smoked or whatever. And then we can have macaroni and cheese and broccoli on the side, and you can mix the broccoli into your mac and cheese. The boys don't really like that, but you can do that if you want. And then we have a big old pork roast, and usually he smokes that, and usually we always make tacos or like pork roast sandwiches. So I just wrote rice as a side. If it's tacos, I put beans. And then if it's a sandwich, we could do like potato wedges or something like that. And then I'm just going to turn you guys around and show you my list. It's easier that way. And then for the 4 steaks, I just put on the side scalloped potatoes, zucchini. That could change. All of this can change, but this is what I have. For the 4 pounds of ground beef, spaghetti and meatballs, hamburgers, and potato wedges. Like that's what we could use with the 4 pounds of ground beef. For the jalapeno dogs, to be honest, I will not eat that, and I don't think my daughter will either. So I just wrote that down with mac and cheese and fried potatoes, and then her and I will get something else as the main like course. And that would just be for the guys. They can split the 5 between them. 5 or 6. I think there's 5 in a pack. But for the 3, well, honestly, what will happen most likely is we'll get more hot dogs, and then we all can have an even amount, but just regular hot dogs, not those ones. And then for the steaks, steak and potatoes mashed with, mashed potatoes, broccoli, steak and rice and zucchini, just ideas for sides. Fried chicken thighs, I put potatoes, broccoli, and cheese. I'm the one that always fries the chicken. Earl does not like, he loves fried chicken, but he just says I just do it better. So like that's me all the way. Pork sirloin chops with pasta and rice and veggies, or pasta or rice and veggies. And then boneless pork loin smoked with pasta and veggies. So there's just some dinner ideas right there. And then I wrote down lunch ideas is tuna, PB&J, top ramen, or just there's other soups in there, and then grilled cheese or BLT. And just to add in breakfast ideas, this is what we can make is pancakes and waffles. And then we have bacon, cereal, oatmeal, fruit, bananas. I put fruit because there's like canned fruits in there. And then bananas and Pop-Tarts. There's probably other stuff I could list off, but right off the bat, that's just like what came to mind. So there's some ideas for you guys if you needed any inspiration. But anyways, you guys, I'm actually going to let you go because I'm in the middle of a project. It's something that I thought couldn't make look good, and I got it for free, and I'm actually surprised that it's coming out better than I really thought it would come out. Don't forget to leave me a heart down in the comments below, and I will see you soon. Bye. By the way, I feel really, really good right now. Usually I don't do that because I'm like, oh, we can just look and see what we have, like, and then we can just make up our dinner, you know, like figure out what we want to make, like, but the good thing about me doing this is Earl apparently had no idea that we had a big pork roast in the freezer. So it's a really good thing to do that. Maybe you guys have meat floating around that you didn't know about. But I just think it's funny. It's like, I was wondering, like, every day, I'm like, not every day, but I'm like, when are we going to have this? Because it makes really good tacos. And there was something else I forgot to mention. But anyways, I'm so excited for this little project that I'm working on, and I'm excited to share that with you guys soon. I don't know if it's going to be my next video or what, but I don't know. I just hope this motivates you, get some ideas, or, you know, it's okay to not meal plan. Personally, I think it's kind of a waste of time. Write down meal ideas. Like, what's the difference? Well, the difference is when people are like, Monday, we're going to have this for dinner. Like, what if you change your mind? Then there's no point to meal planning because it's going to change. Or if you can write down just meal ideas, they'll always change. Like with us especially, like some days we're not going to be in the mood. We could write down something for one day, like if we had a Taco Tuesday or whatever, and it's like, we don't feel like tacos. How about pizza? Pizza Tuesday. But you know what I mean? Like at least get an idea of what foods you have. You don't have to even make the meal plan, but at least write down all the main meats and stuff that you have. I do think that helps a lot. Apparently, especially if you have a husband who forgets what he buys. But anyways, I'm feeling good. I'm like going through my house, fixing things. Oh, I gotta show you something real quick. Okay, so there's my island. There's the curtains by the island. I should open these, really. I don't know why they're all shut. But that is what I fixed. So this is much stronger now. I was honestly, I was afraid to wiggle it. I'm like, yeah, it's much stronger. But there's that. Let's get some light in here. Oh, that's another thing I forgot to share. My mom saw my last video of my candles that I got from the thrift shop, and she's like, well, did you like the candles I gave you? I'm like, yeah, they're on my candlesticks. My mom gave me these, and they're fake candles too, and they're just really cute. But I switched them out with the other ones that I had, and it looks pretty cute. It's such a beautiful day outside. I should go on a walk today with Jalen when Jace gets home. Every time he's like, and then eventually he's like, okay. But he seems fine once we're doing it. He's that kind of person. Jace reminds me of the way I am, like, with bowling. Bowling always sounds boring to me, but once you're doing it, it's fun. It's like a lot of things. A lot of things don't sound fun until you're doing it. It's like the thought of it, just ignore the thought and just go do it. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned because I'm going to be doing some like simple home updates. I'm just kind of doing a little bit of everything. Decluttering where I need to declutter, and fix things that need to be fixed that are like quick fixes. We're going to get to the window sooner than later, cross your fingers. And then hopefully the door frame, but those things are kind of on the back burner for now. I'm just talking about things that I can actually fix with a screwdriver or update things, which is nice that we got those new handles. I forgot to mention that we only got that one door handle for our bedroom, and then Earl said he was going to get more. Well, he got more quicker than I thought he would, so he got 3 more. So there's one for each boy's room, and then one for the bathroom, which is great because they all have a lock and there's a key. We have all 4 keys, even though they're all the same. They work for each lock. And now I could take off like that little baby like lock thing, I took those off, so it just like looks nicer. He wanted to keep it there for extra whatever, but security, but there's no point. I mean, you just lock your door. You know. But anyways, I feel good. I'm kind of getting to the point where I would like some more color in my home again. A little bit of color here and there. And so I just got some things in, you know, on my mind, whether it's updating my house or clearing some rooms or spaces or just little things here and there, trying to make things better looking or get different furniture items. But that I've been just kind of in that mindset of just like, how can I make this better? I go to each room and I'm like, how can I make this look better? Or how can I make this work better, function better? I just want my home to feel, number one, easy to clean. I want it easy to clean. I want toys easy to pick up, which I'm not gonna lie, when I had the ottoman that you could just throw every toy inside of it, that was so much easier than the way I have it set up. But the difference is, when I'm cleaning up toys now versus then, is I'm cleaning up toys that are not in the living room. I'm not walking all over them because they're over in their own little section, the playroom, so it makes it a lot better. But, you know, things like that. We're just trying to make our home better. Earl moving the fish tank helps with feeling like you don't have to walk around a dining room table to get to anywhere. But yeah, I hope my channel lately is motivating you guys to like just go through your home and figure out what bugs you. Maybe you just write it down and brainstorm on ways to make it better. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in my next one.